Our family initially moved from Illinois in the 1920s. My grandfather worked at the International Harvester plant and came to what he saw was the blackest soil, most fertile soil, which drew him and a bunch of other people from Illinois to this area. We're currently in our third generation on the farm, and we currently have my wife and I and a 15-month-old son, and hopefully he'll carry the generation on. The first biotech products that became available were first canola on our farm, and it helped. We were able to put canola into a land base where perhaps we wanted to direct seed into. Before we'd have to basically work the soil. It could be land erosion as well as wind erosion, as well as the fear of seedbed dryout when you're first trying to plant the crop, especially under a drier spring regime. For us, we're in the northern area of North America, producing a lot of warm season crops. So when we go into a land base, we want to save the moisture and try to put the seed into a moist seed bed close to the top of the soil. And that's part of our goals. With the technology, we're able to grow soybeans here, and a lot of other farmers are the same. It opens up a whole new area, and perhaps that brings greater efficiency and returns to us in the family farm. For the seeds that we're planting, it's easier to make decisions upon the timing, and it has also freed up a bit of time for us as a family to spend together. We've been using crop protection products to suppress weed species and basically try to get as clean and economically sound of a crop that we can, and thus our family has been now in the third generations as a family farm business. In the past 10 years, yes, we have seen, I guess, great productivity increases in some of the fields and crops that we're working with. So hand in hand between the chemistry and the genetics, I guess things are getting better for us in a highly productive area to try to maximize our yield and economic yield on our farm. The value of research and development onto our farm would be in the area of increased yield, increased pest management tools, as well as increased quality for our end consumer. What sustainable practices means to me is basically using farming techniques in a holistic approach where our family will be able to farm this land into future generations. I have a young son, and the hope would be that this land would be in as good or better shape for him and his family. Sustainable practices mean to me also conscious of the environment. So we're trying to minimize the amount of passes over a field that we have with tractor and implements, as well as the use of, as much as possible, and the expense of fossil fuels. We have a shelter belt, which here would stop wind erosion, as well as does provide some spring moisture reserve, snow banks, etc., from the previous winter into spring seeding conditions, as well as provide a plant and animal habitat. The cropland itself provides a bit of habitat for the animal species in our area. We take a holistic approach to agriculture, and here in our family farm, and basically we work hand in hand with Mother Nature. For us, we are trying to produce a lot of food here in the part of the breadbasket of the world, here in the Canadian prairies. Canada has such a small population that we are a very much, well, a world exporter given our population. But for us, having hopefully a surplus of food in the future in good crop years, we can feed countries that have a limited land base and an expanding population. And example would be Canadian Food Development Bank, that would where we could donate a portion of this crop when we have a surplus to an agency that is church-based to go overseas to third world countries and help people feed themselves.